This is called tough skin, and it's a sticky substance that we put on the surface of the skin to make it sticky so things stick to it. One of the issues is that when an athlete starts getting busy and practices or plays in a game, what's the body do?
Sweats.
Yeah, and once it sweats, one of the things that makes it difficult for tape to adhere to skin is water or moisture. So that's what the tough skin will do. It'll help things stick. Best case scenario is to have them shave. You use this stuff and then put a thin layer, not multiple layers, but a thin layer of underwrap, and then it'll stick nicely. Best thing to do is tape to the skin. So we'd spray, and then we would use heel and lace pads. Now there's a little bit of skin lube here, and we would put it on the heel area and the laces, because that's where the skin will fold a little bit, and you can end up with cuts and blisters. If you get a spot that's too tight, it'll dig into one of those crevices, or if you get a gap in your tape, it'll create a blister, and then they will just never want you to tape them again. So then, once I've sprayed it and put on heel and lace pads, I will put on underwrap. And you guys can spiral up. What we do is we just follow the heel lock routine. Come straight through the heel and then just spiral up. When you tape, you want to tape pretty close to or up high enough so that the tape has the leverage to be able to hold that foot steady and solid. If you tape just up this high, then there's not an awful lot of leverage to really offset the stress that takes place at the ankle. So you need longer levers or longer stirrups to help hold the foot in place. We usually say take the tape up to the point where it just almost to the point where the gastroc starts to form. But it depends upon the body shape and type of the individual, because some basketball players, some of the guys especially, are really long and lean, and I mean we would start up here before we hit their gastroc, you know, because their legs are that much longer. So you adjust. But some people, their gastroc might start right here, and you can't go up very far. So just keep that in mind. Remember, you have angles that you're dealing with. So up high, the body is shaped in this direction. Then just above the malleoli, these are the malleoli, okay, these bones right here, the medial and lateral malleolus, both of them together, plural, malleoli. Right there, it's pretty much straight up and down, and then the malleoli flare out this direction. So when we're here, we're putting our tape on at an angle, maybe we're putting tape on, at this angle. And then it will lie down flat all the way around. If I try to go straight across up here, someplace there's going to be a gap. All right? So you've got to angle your tape so it'll lie down flat. So I will simply use, and I overlap the tape about half the width. There's my anchors. Those are the first things I'm going to put on the tape job. Those are anchors. Then I'm going to put on 3 stirrups, and I'm going to put them on so they cover, and they're always put on medial to lateral, and you want to cover your malleoli anterior and posterior. So you're going to overlap these a little bit. Then the last one I put on, I angle it in like this, and then when it comes around, bingo, it lies down flat. All right? Then you've got your horizontals. Oop, I'm done with that one. Then you have your horizontals that hold the stirrups in place. These are the components of the tape job that I gave you at the back side of Chapter 8. And as I approach the bottom of just the top of the ankle, I start to straighten out my tape, and then lo and behold, oh my goodness, look at, I have to flare the other direction. You want to take these down just below the malleoli. So you've got protection all the way down just below those bones. Right, so you've got your anchors, your stirrups, your horizontals. Now you put on what you guys were just practicing, which is?
Heel lock.
Okay. So your heel lock. Oops. A little hard. So I'm going to cut the malleolus in half, around the back and down toward me. Over the top, around the back, down toward me. Now, for those of you that are really struggling with this, you can do them individually. You can take your tape, unroll it. Okay, the heel lock has to go right here. So I'm going to put my tape here. And then I need another one over here. Oops, I got a little bit of a loop there. My angle was wrong. And up here. So if that's the way you learn and the way it lays down for you best, then fine. I know an awful lot of people in my business, or I know some, that's how they still tape an ankle. They do the locks individually. If you want to really speed your tape job up, it's quicker if you do them continuous. All right? So the last thing you want to put on, so let's say I do a set of heel locks. I come out of the lock, I go up high a little bit, around the top of the ankle, come right back, straight down, straight through my arch, around the top, and I finish up. There's my figure 8. Boom, boom. Very last piece I put on is a cover down. I want it to look pretty. And so there you go with your cover down. Now, if when you finish your tape job, you look up here and realize, oh, I've got a couple of wrinkles in there. Shoot, I've got a little gap over here. Cover it up. Cover it up. You would be surprised at how important aesthetics are to the person you're taping. The way it looks. Not always the way it feels, but the way it looks. And if it looks lousy, even though it's doing the job it needs to do, if it looks kind of crummy, they're going to go, oh, wow, they really don't know what they're doing. All right? But if you clean it up and make it look good, then, ooh, wow, that's good. Well, thanks a lot. And they come back to you the next day. Now, you always leave an opening for them. You always tell them, look, if there's problems, if it's too tight, if whatever, then come back and let me know, because we can adjust it. All right? If I have to do a specialty tape job especially, I'll let them know that there's other methods I can use, but you need to let me know if there was a problem, because otherwise we can't make corrections. So when you first start taping people, it's always important, because sometimes they just get their little opinions that, oh, sometimes, believe it or not, they can be nice and say, oh, I don't want to get them in trouble, I don't want to say anything. Or, more than that, they'll, oh, they don't know what they're doing, I'm not going back to them. But if you give them the option and say, hey, let me know how that is, if it's a problem, we can, let me know and we can correct it. Then that leaves an opening for them. All right, questions?